The following is a pre-recorded conversation between two siblings and is filled with personal opinions and biases. It should not be taken seriously by anyone. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, welcome to another You Don't Make Friends with Giant Squids podcast. I'm Squid.
And I'm Jaxxon.
And today's episode, we're reviewing Pride and Prejudice. That's right. Pride and the Prejudices.
Because everything is great, you know, when you've got the Pride and Prejudice.
Everything is great when you have the Pride and Prejudice.
Especially 2005.
Yeah, right? I didn't realize how old the movie was.
Oh my God.
2005.
Dude, it fucked with me mentally.
So, you know, period pieces really do, like, stay alive longer, don't
And it's
they?
amazing. And I was looking at the cast list for this.
Such
and
a
I
good
was
cast
like,
list.
fuck, everyone's so goddamn fucking old now.
Old. I was like, they're so good. I was like, yeah,
No,
they're good.
They are all fucking good, but in just watching their today pictures, you know, when you go on Google and I'm like, oh my God, everybody's...
Yeah, the Kitty and Lydia get to me when I see
them.
them.
They're grown-ass women.
Yeah.
And Kitty being like her whole like mulligan, like Meldigan,
Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, like she was actually in that other movie that I suggested for She's a Star.
Yeah.
I forgot what's the name of the movie.
That sounds like a you.
We gotta say it. I can't just say and then not say.
Sounds like a you problem.
It's that one about the woman. Oh, a promising young woman. Which came out in December last year. Heard she killed it. Her entire career is exploding right now. And she's also same age as Keira. Like, they're both 35.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. Because I remember her mainly from was it one of my friends? You know, Melvin. She said that she reminded me, or she looked like me, or something like that.
Her?
Yeah, because from her being in Great Gatsby.
Oh, yeah. I can see that because you've got the baby doll. Like,
you're a baby. Don't at me. Please catch me outside.
Dude, if we're
catch me outside.
If I'm taking completely your style out of the equation, like, and just using your features, like, straight up, you are like a Precious Moments doll. So you've been like that since you were little.
That's not my fault.
Yeah, I know it's not your fault. I'm just saying she's also got precious moments, you know?
Yeah. You're a precious moment.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God. So thank you. Pride and Prejudice. Yeah.
Let's start with like our history with this movie because.
Okay. So wait, what exactly is our history? I mean, which one of us was obsessed with this one first? You know, I'm just wondering which one of us happened to be super obsessed with it. I mean, it's not like I know which one, but so.
I watched this movie every single day for the rest of high school. Like when this one came out in 2005 and it was on DVD, from when it came out on DVD to when I exited high school, that's like 2 years of coming home and watching it every single day.
Do you still know all the words?
Yeah.
By heart?
Yeah, if I close my eyes, I can watch the movie in my head.
Yeah, I know.
Which is nice.
It's so much fun because I know the words by heart, right? So we're sitting there watching it with Mom, and I would just turn to her and mouth the words with them and say it to her. And Mom just giggles at me.
Which, you know, I mean, it would be great because then we'll be able to, like, do a perfect posh British accent.
I mean, we can do a good Keira Knightly.
in these well, we could do these lines.
Yeah, we can do these lines. Only these lines. And this specific line delivery.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Or do a Donald Sutherland.
you do love
him, don't you? Let's cover up our dentures.
You do love him.
Love you, Donald Sutherland.
I could not
no
have
shame.
parted with you, my dear Lizzie, for anyone less.
He's my favorite dad for Pride and Prejudice.
Favorite dad and favorite mom. Because
Yes.
the mom can get so obnoxious.
But she's so lovable and squishy.
Yeah, right. There's still I think the mom in this version of Pride and Prejudice pulls off that line of "You're obnoxious, but I still love you."
Yeah, but then the one in the miniseries I find is a little colder.
The 1995 miniseries with Colin Firth.
See, because if it's a Pride and Prejudice, it's probably got Colin Firth in it.
Yeah, I noticed that in criticisms they're always comparing this one to that one. Those are the two.
Apparently, the die-hard Pride and Prejudice people will jizz over the first one, over the miniseries, but then they hate on this one.
Well, I know why though. It's because of the historical inaccuracies of this one. It's because it's considered a lot more modern, and personally, because I've read Pride and Prejudice, like the book,
Me too.
like at least 5 times.
I didn't read it that many times because I got bored in the garden.
No, see, because I read it the first time, but it felt like I was almost translating it from another language.
Yeah.
And then the second time I was able to get into it a little bit more. And then I think that I watched the movie, and then I was talking to Ma during the time about what was different from the book and the movie. And then I couldn't remember certain details, so I picked it up and went through it one more time. So I know I've read it quite a bit. But it's because in the book, it's not so much focused on Lizzie and Darcy. Because, I mean, this movie is...
It's like society in general.
Yeah, it's like society in general and how she was able to navigate no matter what space she was in. And Lizzie even had somebody who was kind of like a backer, that was her like stepping stone into society, where she would go to this woman's parties, and that's how she was like
introduced to people
with the echelon of upper society, right? So a lot of people who are diehard fans of like the book like the historical bits of it because it shows the difference in class between the two groups of people. I mean, she's like straight upper middle class, right? And Darcy's like, I got my second
Rockefeller rich.
Right,
He's
I got my second like
rich.
yacht rich. But he doesn't have a title. That's why he's Mr. Darcy. He's not Sir Darcy. He's not Lord Darcy.
But if he was here, it would be royalty. Like if he was in America at this time.
Well, the thing is that his thing is money.
Yes.
Right. So he's got money, which is why Lady Catherine de Bourgh wants her daughter to marry into them, because that's what they did. Yeah. They took the
titles and with the wealth and
they mixed them together.
So that the titles and the wealth are just all incepted.
Exactly. But it's like take one of our favorite scenes when it opens and there's that dance in the town hall, right? Darcy would have never been there.
Yeah, which is why it all stopped when they walked in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this movie, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore this movie, but that's why there's criticisms, because the people can't let go of specific details. Like, oh, they're outside without a bonnet. How dare they? It's those little inaccuracies that makes people who are diehard fans of the book get angry, because they're like, if you're not even going to take historical accuracy into place, then this can't even be said that it's an adaptation.
True, but it's also fiction too. It is. It's like, and Jane Austen based it off of like her own experiences, but it's also fictitious. It's not even like she straight up. It's a historical book. Like it's still like historical girl porn. Like, yeah,
it is.
So
it is historical girl porn.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
but that's where the criticisms come in. That's why it's like that. That's why diehards don't like it.
But that's why I disagree, even though I consider myself also
totally
huge,
disagree. I get where they're coming from. Totally disagree.
And I'm a huge fan. I feel like I'm a huge Jane Austen fan. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a huge Pride and Prejudice fan. Like, I loved the experience of reading the books. Need to pick them up again, honestly. But then again, I also feel like I kind of want to read a more diverse author.
I always feel like that, because when you read older books, you kind of feel like your brain's getting nourished.
Yeah.
But then there's still that thing of, oh yeah, I'm reading like an older book, but why would I pick up Pride and Prejudice for the 5th time when I could pick up something like East of Eden, or something that would like be a little bit outside my wheelhouse,
or pick up a Toni Morrison. You know,
you pick up a different type of thing that you're not used to like shake your head out and experience something different.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the reason why I kind of don't want to reread anything until I've read more of everybody. Like, I want to go into everybody's stories because everyone's got stories to tell.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't want to. I mean, I know she's a classic and she was an idol of mine for a long time. Like, I want, my history of wanting to become a writer.
Yeah.
And literally of her being in that genre too is like, I wanted to be literary classic. Like, I wanted, but supernatural, which is where, Pride and Prejudice and zombies. Like, you would have thought that was my exact wheelhouse, but we all make mistakes.
I think that maybe the book has more going for it when it comes to Pride and Prejudice and zombies than the actual movie did, because that was a LSD fever dream that somebody who just read Pride and Prejudice made. So, I mean, because there's bits of it that I thought were cool, like how the Bennets learned a certain type of martial arts,
which is
the other
fun.
And then the actual the people that were there, like Darcy learned a different type of martial arts. Like one was Chinese based and one was Japanese based, or there was something different. Like one was kung fu and one was karate. So there was a line or Tai Chi or something. And I thought that stuff like that was super interesting, but they did not translate that well into that movie.
And even then, why is it a bunch of white people doing all these martial arts?
I mean, when it comes to literary stuff like this, I understand why there's a bunch of white people. I totally get it, because this is about
white people.
Yeah, core white people, the OG colonists. That's what all this is about.
And hashtag fuck them.
Well, in this time, you have to appreciate it for what it represents.
See.
So, all of your hashtag, all of your political hashtags don't really qualify back then.
True. But then, because it's fiction, I feel like our adaptations can adjust.
Yeah, our adaptations can adjust.
Which is why I like how this one did. It felt so cinematic.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing about the miniseries that I didn't jive with, because it feels long and it feels
it's a miniseries.
See, it is, and then the fact that they literally took every walking around the garden scene, and everyone literally walked around the garden.
Well, that's how they had all their conversations.
I
was
know,
walking around in the garden.
but I don't want to watch that.
But that's what they did. That's how they got to know each other.
Accuracy, fuck it.
You know how fond she is with walking.
Oh my god. Yes, I know.
I'm aware.
He wanted to walk with you, bitch.
Yeah, he wanted to go with you. But yeah, that's
yeah. So I am a diehard fan of this movie. Good. Getting back to that.
I love this movie too. But with the miniseries, the main girl that plays Lizzie kind of bugs me because of how she gets angry. She goes, ooh. Every time she gets angry, she's like, oh, that man. Oh, how dare he? Oh. I'm just what kind of anger is
It's very
that?
British angry.
It's very British angry. Whenever she gets upset, whenever she gets perturbed,
she burst.
She puffer fishes. Every single time something makes her really angry.
It could just be her corset was too tight.
It could have been, but I don't appreciate that version of anger, because she just seems. I mean, I guess it's true to Lizzie. She just seems very entitled and I like our Lizzie. I like Keira Knightly's.
See, even though the director Joe Wright didn't even want to cast her.
Why?
Because she's too pretty.
She's so pretty.
They said that she's too pretty, but then he met her and was like, "Oh, you're a fucking tomboy." I'm like, we could work with this. We could work with
tomboy.
We could work with your tomboy-ness.
I can see that.
And did you know the actress who plays Jane she turned down Harry Potter to be in Pride and Prejudice?
What was she going to be in Harry Potter?
Rita Skeeter. She made the right choice.
Yeah, because I think that the Rita Skeeter that they got was nice and slimy.
Yeah, she was great.
Whereas I think that if Rosamund Pike had had it, there would be a class and an air, there would have been something
I also
different.
feel like it might have been a little sexual too. Like interviewing the boys and stuff.
Yeah.
There might have been, not that she gives that off or anything, but just because she's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
So it's just kind of a bunch of 12-year-olds looking at her whoa.
Yeah, and she's blowing up right now too because of Gone Girl.
See, Gone Girl.
She was so good. Did you see Gone Girl?
I haven't seen it. I know she did amazing in it though.
Oh my
That's what
God.
I heard.
You would love Gone Girl. It totally breaks apart everything we were talking about in Twilight, the whole not like other girls and the girl that drinks beer and everything. Oh my God, there's this diatribe she goes on in the middle of the movie when she's doing her where she's cutting her hair and doing all of that stuff, where she just goes into this spiel, and it's the best thing ever. You really should.
it.
Yeah.
It's been on my list for a while to watch, just because for one, I love her.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's kind of one of those things where you're like, she about to single white female his ass. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, you should see it. It's really good.
And now back to the movie.
Yeah, back to Pride and Prejudice.
Let's see. Did we want to do a step by step go through it, or did you want to say your history with the movie now? Just that so far we just know that you like it.
Oh, I adore Pride and Prejudice. I think that it's quite easy to say that this is like top movies. Top movie.
In the top 10. Easy.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you talk about like this specific style of movie.
See,
best one.
Dude, the opening scene when it's just trees and the sunrise and everything looks dewy, and I'm just like, ooh, I could feel that morning.
Feels good. It does. It feels like a snapshot.
Yeah.
I really enjoy
and the entire
it.
movie feels like that too, like crisp, dewy morning.
Yeah, like
ooh.
a great morning for like a walk or something.
See, because you love to walk.
Yeah, if I ever went outside, if I ever took 2 steps outside this goddamn house, yeah.
Did you see her hem? 6 inches deep in mud.
Positively medieval.
And he's like, I liked her crazy looking hair and like,
and the flush from exercise in her skin.
See, she wasn't pale as what all?
She didn't look sickly and inside all the time.
Yeah, I know, but like, Jesus, like you totally underestimate exercise until you start doing it, and then you're like, oh wow, I felt like shit before.
But now I have the power of 1,000 suns.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't even explain what this movie means to me. It's everything. If anybody tells me that they don't like Pride and Prejudice, then I'm not gonna fuck with you.
Well, yeah, because then it's like, well, no, I know for sure you don't have taste.
Yeah, not only do you not have taste, but you also like,
you're probably a misogynist.
Yeah, there's something about this movie that you're just like not understanding.
Yeah, especially because it's so good. She's so good. He's so good. Like,
yeah, out of all of the period pieces, especially the Jane Austen adaptation.
That one and Jane Eyre. That one was really good with Michael Fassbender.
Oh yeah, that's like my second. These are my 1 and 2. My Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre was a good one. Love Jane Eyre.
See, super good. Also though, the dude who plays Wickham, I was then again reminded that you need to watch Young Victoria.
I saw Young Victoria.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
All right.
Oh my God. This is Jersey Boys all over again.
No, because I saw it, but I remember going into it and like curling up and underneath my blanket, and I had like a hot chocolate or something. I'm like, let's do this. And then the movie went by, and I was like, I could watch Pride and Prejudice. Like it was all right.
I thought they were so cute.
Yeah, they're all right. It was all right. I mean, like, because I remember watching it and I remember feeling a little bit disappointed, but it wasn't like it was a bad movie. It just wasn't on the level of Pride and Prejudice.
I would say true, just because I feel like this one's this is a classic, and I feel like that one's not in there in the classic space.
Yeah.
But like, how can you do Emily Blunt like that?
Oh, she's so pretty.
And she's so good in everything.
She's so good at whatever she does.
See.
She's pretty to look at. Everybody was pretty, and the movie was pretty, and it was fine. It didn't.
I cried like a bitch.
Really?
At the end.
I mean,
I cried like forever. I was so sad.
There must have been something that you latched onto then, like something that you really felt and yeah, because to me it was just another one. Because it was like I think it's The Duchess. What's the one that Keira Knightly does with Ralph Fiennes?
Is that the one where
it's like
she jumps in front of a train at the end?
Does she jump in front of a train? It's the one where she's
with the dude from that one superhero movie?
No, that's Atonement.
No, not James McAvoy. The other dude from Super Kick-Ass. That kid where she's having an affair with him.
Yeah.
And she jumps in front of a train.
She did?
That's how the movie ends.
She jumps in front of a train?
I think so. She kills herself.
Because I remember seeing that one because I thought that was going to be like Pride and Prejudice, and that wrecked me.
Yeah, that
was such a hardcore movie. Like I had no idea it was going to get that dark. It got so dark.
It's supposed to be Russian, so
yeah, it was the one that she had with Kick-Ass was Anna Karenina.
That one's hardcore.
Yeah, right. Some of them are just like straight up hardcore, and I'm just not like. It was because I'm expecting something light and fluffy, like where the biggest thing is, oh, you looked at me weird. Instead of like, bitch, I'm gonna have my mistress move in, I'm gonna ignore you. And it's like, fuck, my heart.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
She's gonna move in. Who, my house?
Yeah, in the house. And no matter what you say, you're not allowed to have a dude. I can have my mistress live here with you. And you have to get along with her, and she's going to be pregnant and everything.
Yeah.
But if you
shank.
Right, and if you so much as step out, it makes me furious. Yeah.
That's when someone gets shank.
Right. That's how husbands die.
Now on to the movie.
On to the movie. So, wow, it's like such a weird way to summarize it because the book has like that iconic opening where it's like everyone in society like knows that a man is in want of a woman. You know, that stupid opening line that's constantly being like played. But I think that this one opens with her reading Pride and Prejudice.
She's reading it in she's reading the first draft from Jane Austen. Like, it's not necessarily Pride and Prejudice. Yes, it's called something else, like First Impressions or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is the original title.
And everybody's all in an uproar because Mr. Bingley's moved to the neighborhood.
Because he makes $5,000 a year.
Whereas like Lizzie's family, I think averages at like $2,000.
Well, I mean, their dowry would have been like, I mean,
well, there's like
nothing.
There's 5 girls, right?
Yeah.
Kitty, Lydia, Mary, Jane, and Lizzie. There's 5 girls, so splitting 2,000 like pounds
is nothing.
Yeah,
and that means nothing a year.
Yeah, they literally have no dowry. So
yeah,
they
have their good name and that's it.
Yeah, they have their name and they have the fact that Jane's a beauty and that in the book at least Kitty is the beauty. Lydia is a
beauty.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, that's they don't. Although they're in high society, they're not considered wealthy in the movie. Like all I was thinking was, damn, they've got like these 5 girls, and not one of them's doing any fucking chores. Like they've got so many servants doing everything around them. Like
they're perfectly able to keep a cook.
Yeah, I know. Just the way that you can
keep a cook. Yeah.
That. I love that noise that she makes. Like,
well, it's because he's like, I'm proud that the estate can afford such a living.
Yeah.
It's like, to which of my cousins should I compliment these excellent boiled potatoes?
Are these the result of previous study?
It's like, do these compliments arise from the moment, or are they
a result of previous study? And they're like,
okay, because they start laughing. Goes, oh no, I mean, I do
try to give them as unstudied an air as possible.
Oh, believe me, no one would expect your manners to be rehearsed.
Yeah, we know this
so
movie.
Good,
but it's like. But that's still a pretty good estate, a good living. Like,
yeah, I mean, considering what her dad was, like the Bennett residence it's a good living. It's just that there's so many of them damn girls.
Because none of them are going to get the house. None of them are going to get anything because they don't have a brother.
Yeah, but I totally understand why you would end up with 5 girls because that means that she tried. Every single time she got pregnant, she's like, boy, 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 girl. Boy, 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 girl.
Boy.
Girl. And then once you hit 5, she's like, okay, I think we should stop now.
Yeah, because I'm tired and pregnant is not a fun way to live.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she was. I mean, that's her career.
She took it seriously, but I don't think she wanted to be pregnant all the time. No. Just because, for one, you could die.
Yeah.
I mean, you still could die, but especially in the United States, because you know our healthcare system sucks. But no, I know. Hashtag universal healthcare.
Hashtag healthcare for all. No, but like that's one of the things is that she was so flippant about that kind of stuff, like sending Jane on horseback when it was about to rain. Like, she can die. People do die of cold.
Yeah, I know. She said people don't die of cold. And I was like, bitch, you can. That could kill you.
Die of cold, yeah. But sickness is no joke. Especially like
you catch pneumonia, you're dead. Like, there's no penicillin to get rid of that shit. You don't have ibuprofen. Like, what are you going to do to get your fever down?
Exactly.
Like, you'll overheat and die. People died from cuts.
Yeah. People it's so hard to keep humans alive. It's so hard.
Which is why a lot of people didn't actually name their children until they got to a certain age.
Yeah.
That's how sad that is. But it's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that actually didn't change until the early 19th century, where we started actually like getting children to us. Like it was a weird thing for kids to die young.
Really?
Yeah, like it was a whole like Adam Conover, Adam Ruins Everything, like a factually podcast episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where he talks about how kids dying young was normal. Like, it wasn't until, you know, people started getting vaccinated that, you know, we started living longer.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So basically the whole setup is that this rich bitch just came to town, right? And the obviously he should marry one of the girls.
Because she's got a lot of them.
Yeah, she's got
And they're
she's got a lot of
gorgeous.
them. Yeah, and they're all pretty
Plus,
amiable.
One's Keira Knightly.
Yeah, right. One's Keira Knightly, you know.
I would marry Keira Knightly.
One's Rosamund Pike, you know. Still good.
See?
Yeah, both equal in age and beauty. So, you know.
It really bothered me, like when they're in the dining hall and literally like the mom is dragging them all in front, like literally the second they get there, she drags all the kids in front, and it's literally kind of like a pick one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I hated it. I know that that's how it was, but I still hated it because I was like, fuck, man, like they're fucking putting their children up for sale. Like no wonder dad wasn't into it. Like he just didn't want to.
Yeah, I think Lizzie handles the situation so well, though.
See,
like I think that's why they have charm, because the mom is pushy and she gets them in the door, but Lizzie knows how to keep it.
Yeah,
she's like, yeah, I know that we're talking now because my mom pushed me, but I'm gonna still make this worth your while because I'm legit.
See,
I'm too legit to quit, and my brain is sharp as fuck.
Which is good. She loves to read. Yeah. She's a daddy's girl. Like, I think she developed her personality from her dad.
Yeah, also because her mom was just obnoxious. You know, you wouldn't really pick too much from her, especially since her mom treated marriage and stuff like that like a business. And Lizzie, only the strongest feelings of affection would persuade her into matrimony, which is why she's gonna end up an old maid.
It's literally the mom pushed so hard, she pushed Lizzie the other direction.
Yeah, and then because of that, Lizzie ends up like basically becoming a clone of her father.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that's where she would need to get her like male acceptance and approval from is her dad, and her dad was willing to give it to her because she's got like a great relationship with her dad. So, and it's sweet. And also, but then you see it's a completely different relationship with her other sisters.
Yeah,
even the older one, even Jane, has a different relationship.
So shy though.
She's shy, but also like because she's so pretty, like her mom probably embarrassed the shit out of her for most of her life.
Oh, I can see that being so
because she's so shy. So it's like.
Yeah, she's used to being paraded around like a good.
So she's very internalized. Mm-hmm. She's very inside her own head.
And it's her first one, you know? First one out the gate, like really shy. Being
the kid you make all the mistakes on.
Except for the second one, which is perfect. The perfect Lizzie. I'm surprised you didn't clap back with the Lydia reference. I was going to go,
no. I mean, yeah, she's the baby.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like it's a little different when you've got a grip of siblings.
Got a grip of them.
Yeah.
Got a whole baseball team.
Yeah, it's like they've got when you've got several middle children.
Well, it's because Kitty and Lydia are just like the giggling, bubbling, like idiot girls, you know?
And you got poor little Mary.
Stuck in the middle. Her little awkward self.
Yeah, she's so awkward. Like... And she was willing to marry Mr. Collins.
She was. Like, she could have saved her sisters from destitution if her mom
had paid attention to the middle kid at all.
At all. They could have solved that issue instead of shoving him on Lizzie. But she just wanted, in the book...
She's putting them in order. Like,
yeah, because you don't want to skip over a sister and be like, they're not worth it because you're skipping it over. It's like having them be released in succession means that this one's good, this one's good, this one's good, this one's good, instead of this one's good, this one's half off, this one's in the clearance bin, and
being treated like commodities.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but that would hardly encourage sisterly affection.
It would hardly encourage sisterly affection. It would.
Oh man. Yeah. But yeah, we're introduced to this like chaotic household pretty much.
Oh yeah. I remember there's like bonus features because you know we have like the deluxe DVD box set and everything. But there's like bonus features where it's like all the girls, they played sardines. Have you ever played sardines?
Mm-mm.
So sardines is like the opposite of hide and seek. So one person's the first sardine. They run in, like everybody starts outside the house, right? So they went to the house, the Bennett mansion, so that all the girls could get used to each other because they're supposed to be a family, right? So it starts off with one person. One person runs inside the house and hides, and they have like 30 seconds. And then another person goes in. And then like a minute later, another person goes in. And then like say I was the first one in the house and I hid underneath the table. And then you found me, you hide in there with me. And then you stop and you wait. That's why it's called sardines, because you all get packed
squished in together.
Yeah, until eventually the last person's like, because it doesn't matter what time you went into the house to go searching, it's till you find them. So usually there's one person left who can't find anybody because everybody else is giggling. Or like say if me and you came in and mom was hiding and I would grab you and be like, mom's over here, let's go. You know? So they played sardines in the house to get really close to each other. And then Matthew McFadden was all like, yeah, so all the girls were really close and I wasn't allowed to play with them. He's like, they seem like such a family, and I'm over here just like being Mr. Darcy, not allowed to play with the girls.
Well, you have to give that air of being an asshole.
Exactly. But I think that the reason why his Darcy works so well is because I don't think the actor is an asshole. I think he's just like, I just wanted to play in the house too, guys.
Which is exactly what Darcy is too. Like, he doesn't look down on people like that.
No.
Even though he gives it off. He's more logical about stuff.
Yeah, he gives off a very closed off air, but that's not a closed off air because he thinks he's better than everybody else, even though he does think he's better than everybody else.
But it's from a logical point. Like, he's just like, I make this much money, so that means that I'm higher up in station than this person, but not really like saying that you're trash or anything, but just that I'm here and you're here, you know? But not putting a judgment on it. I guess,
I think,
or an emotional feeling.
It's kind of like that thing. I don't think that he ever had that moment that children have when they realize that people are more than just their occupations. Because like for a lot of kids growing up, when you're given flashcards, it's like nurse, doctor, policeman, and like everybody in your head is, well, if you're a policeman, that's what you are. You're a policeman.
See, you're like that dude who loves to run into fire.
Yeah, if you're a firefighter, you're obviously heroic because that's what a firefighter is.
Yeah.
And it's not later that you realize that people are just people, and the occupation that they're put in, half the time they didn't even choose.
Yeah, it just kind of, most of the time people stumble into whatever they do.
Yeah, exactly. And that doesn't mean that they're going to be the best. It doesn't even mean that they're well suited for the position. They're just there.
Yeah, it kind of sounds really close to what Chris Rock says in Tambourine, where he's just like, if your kid turns 30 and they don't find out until then that people ain't shit, you fucked up.
Yeah, you kind of got to realize that people are just people.
Yeah, the
same people that are in your class in first grade are the same people that are going to be your doctor one day. So it's like, it's super scary when you think about shit like that, but that's just the world. And I don't think that he's, because of how not ostracized, but how reclusive he was, I guess, from
people.
Yeah, from people and from like society in general. I think that he tried to avoid all of that like bullshit from high society because he didn't like it.
And to be fair, I mean, they're also pretty secluded anyways, just because of how wealthy they are, you know? So they're kind of kept away. I mean, you saw how like lonely and big their whole estate looked. It was huge, but then it also felt like a museum. So I don't know, that the museum aspect really, it made it feel a little less like a home.
If I was going to decorate a home, it would look like a museum because I would want to be surrounded by beautiful things.
Especially that nice butt.
Oh, yeah. You know, most, I was talking to mom about this. Most early art is pornography. Like, you would get things commissioned like that and you would send it to other people. And like, there's this whole thing, like, this thing about the dichotomy of David and Goliath statues that like any basic art history class goes about, where there's like a feminine version of David and there's like the big Michelangelo, like muscular David. And there's two different, you know.
And how it's just gay porn.
Yeah. How one of them's like literally it's just gay porn because it was one dude knew that the other dude liked guys. So he sent him a statue of like this David that's like extra sensual and got like curves and shit. And yeah, but most art was just gifted porn.
You can also say that about the internet. It was created for...
The internet was for porn. The internet was for porn. Why else do you think that it was porn? Early memes.
It's nice to know that we are animals.
We're all animals. Animals in people suits. Yeah. So the first interaction that she has with Darcy, because basically they have it kind of set up in like this town hall like ball where everybody's, it's not like a ball like when you think of,
No, it's kind of like a ballroom.
it kind of reminds me of like a hoedown,
a big tavern,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, hoedown. It's kind of like a club.
Yeah.
You go into the club.
You go to the club, you get some nasties.
Yeah.
You know, you hang out, you meet the guys, see the peoples.
Yeah, and it looked so hot and sweaty in there.
It did, but I mean, it's also English countryside, right? So it could be pretty cold.
Yeah. That they were hot and sweaty.
Well,
That was actually the only place that they were on set,
yeah,
because they don't have dance halls like that anymore. They just don't exist.
yeah.
In general, like, it was one of the few places they filmed on set, on scene,
location?
yeah, on location, on the scene, on the set, on the location. Everywhere else,
Yeah.
but except for that scene,
They had to create a set for
they
it.
had to create a set.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a pretty legit scene. I mean, it looks like so much fun.
Oh yeah, and the dancing is so cool.
Yeah.
Although it was more like, wow, look at all these white people like play patty cake.
I mean, that's what line dancing is.
Yeah, I hate.
It's
line
like, look at this wholesome fun and all the steps that all of us know at the exact same
I
time.
can't even with line dancing. It's so confusing.
I mean, when you know the line dances, it's fun. But when you don't know them, you like, and they're, oh, it doesn't matter. Just stand up and just move your feet everywhere. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
it's so embarrassing.
You're going to bump into people and they're going to be like, bitch, don't you know the steps? My friend told me to come in here, guys.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Guys, I'm sorry. But so Darcy and Bingley and his sister just like walk in this
And
place,
it
right?
stops.
Immediately, because it's not just their presence, but it's like he's also waiting to be introduced. So he's obviously used to walking into a room and having people like
Announce him.
announce his presence. Yeah. And they like as the people split like the Red Sea and they walk through, you get like the girl cheese man on the side. And she's like, that's him. Which one? Who's the fellow in the middle with the quizzical brow?
Yeah. Like, which one you interested in,
Yeah,
huh? Right
Look
off
at
the
this-
bat.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. It's like, oh, that's Mr. Darcy of
Like,
Pemberley.
it's that guy Emmett. He's dating Rosalie. They're like together.
Together.
Oh my god.
It's that. It's
All
that
the cheese
moment.
smack.
Yeah, it's that moment where she's introducing them as they come in, and then she's like, "That's Mr. Darcy." And it's like, how much does he make? Like 50,000 a year, right? That's ridiculous.
He's double Bingley.
double
Like,
10,000.
Yeah.
10,000
10,000 a year.
Because Bingley's 5,000
Yeah.
and the girls are 2,000. So Darcy's like up there, like in terms of availability.
Yeah.
And he owns half of Derbyshire.
The miserable half.
Miserable he may be, but poor he most certainly is not. Sorry. Yeah.
It's funny. But literally they get introduced like cattle.
Yeah, once they make their way to the back, because like Darcy walks through this like the split crowd and he sees Elizabeth, but he pretends like he doesn't see her.
Oh yeah, he does that a lot. Like
Yeah.
you see a lot of shots of him staring at her, which honestly are my fucking favorite. Like I love it throughout the movie when they do the shot of him watching her, but it's not we're focusing on him watching her.
No, it's just like a quick moment.
Yeah.
Or like their eyes where he's like looking at it, all of a sudden his eyes will dart away.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just like little things that people who are really shy do all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so cute. It's adorable.
Super
especially
cute.
knowing what he's thinking like later.
Yeah.
He does like that double take when he sees her, and then they make their way to the back of the room, and then once they have their position, it starts up again.
Yeah.
Then you get that moment with her mom where her mom's like peeking out, like, like I'm about to give me some of this money that just came
For
in.
real. Very most advantageous marriage.
And we'll put her sisters in the way of other men. It's like, oh man, shut up. She needs
But to be
shut
fair,
up.
she is doing her job.
She is. She
She's
has
taking care of
5
her
girls.
family.
5 girls.
5 girls, and none of them are guaranteed a living. Like they can, and they never had a governess, so they don't know shit.
Nope.
Like she's working it.
Yeah, she is. She is.
And she's not getting
She's a
it.
momager. She's definitely the old version of a momager.
She is Kris Jenner.
She's Kris Jenner. Yeah, she's essentially, if this is the Kardashians, she's Kris Jenner.
and you know what? Same success.
Same success as she lands Darcy, you
See.
know? I mean, her mom may not have been actively there, but she did raise her.
Yeah, she raised her, got Bingley, got them introduced. Like
she got her foot in that door, and that's all that matters.
All that matters.
Yeah.
And especially like had she been a Kim Kardashian back like now, like Elizabeth would have done her own shit too, gone off and done her own businesses and shit with that kind of money, just like Kim. Like Kim's doing all her own shit. Like
I think Kim would have been Jane, and
oh yeah, she's the looks in the family.
Yeah, because she's the looks. You know, she's the one that they're pushing, and then Lizzie would have been.
Oh my God, there's five
Kardashians
girls.
Yeah, 3 originals and 2 sides. two off brands.
Kylie's definitely Lydia.
Yeah, I guess.
Just because she's the youngest baby, plus the one that has the kid first, like.
Well, the youngest that wants to like come out in front. Yeah, I totally see it, but I was kind of leaning towards putting her as Lizzie because she's the second most successful.
I think Chloe might be a Lizzie, just because.
You sure Chloe's not Mary?
Kendall's more Mary because she's very awkward and doesn't want to be a part of anything, but doesn't want to be a part of any of that stuff. Like, and like created her own tequila recently. She's off doing her own shit. Definitely middle kid. I don't know where Courtney falls.
Right. Yeah.
Courtney might be. Oh my God, Courtney's the Mary. That kind of hit really hard right now.
That's so mean.
No, but she is. Her attitude, like, it's right there.
Yeah. So essentially, this movie is like Lizzie meets Darcy. They do not get off to a very good start. A bunch of drama happens, and she ends up with him. You know, it's
best summary ever.
Thank you. But it's basically a classic. I mean, by this point in time,
I mean, who isn't familiar with
the formula? You know, like it's a girl meets guy says something stupid, so she decides not to like guy, but they're obviously meant for each other. And then eventually, through the guy winning her over, she goes, oh, okay, all right, I might let him hit it. And then there you go. Movie's over. That's how it goes. It's the whole taming of the shrew thing.
See.
But from the female perspective and not calling people shrews. You know.
Hashtag women be shrewing.
I mean, because like we're barely it's gonna take it so long. If we go like how we normally do for movies and go from the summary step by step, we could talk about every scene for like 50 minutes.
That's true.
Like,
because we just got so much to say.
Yeah.
But honestly, let's just talk about our favorite parts.
Yeah, right. Let's do that, because honestly, the ballroom scene is one of my favorite parts.
See,
it is. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie, because it's when he's like it's when Darcy's like refusing to acknowledge that he actually likes her.
Yeah, or that he like saw her.
Yeah, right. And he's just
saw her,
because his dude's having a blast, right?
Oh yeah, because like he's
the best.
Staring at her.
Oh yeah,
at Jane.
He felt hard for Jane the second he saw her, and I mean, who wouldn't? It's
and she did
Pike.
too. Like she's staring at him, he's staring at her. You can tell when two people are vibing.
Yeah.
As soon as they meet, like she was smiling so hard, and he was like breathing like a dog, like. But then again, Bingley's kind of got that puppy energy, anyways.
Bingley definitely has puppy energy, which is a good energy.
True,
such a good energy.
Who doesn't like puppy energy?
Who doesn't love puppy energy?
Everyone loves puppies,
right? So, like they're hitting it off, and he's like, "Man, I've never seen so many pretty girls in my life."
He's like, "Oh my God." Especially that one.
Yeah. Right? But her sister is very agreeable, is she not? And then,
well, he's like, man, if we can both get hitched to the same family.
Right? Because then they would be like
brothers-in-law.
Yeah.
Like,
because I think right now his sister wants to get on Darcy's dick.
Hard.
Like, yeah, she's so thirsty. She wants him so bad.
She's so bitchy.
So bitchy.
But you know what? I try really hard not to call other females bitches unless they really fucking deserve it. Just because I don't want other people's I don't want to perpetuate the bitch stereotype in general.
Well,
But
she's not very
she-
friendly.
She's a bitch.
Yeah. And what I like, okay, so this is another one of like those comparisons between like the 1995 Pride and Prejudice and this one is that
She's gorgeous.
this Bingley girl is drop dead beautiful, right? And she's got like that aristocratic thing in spades.
And you kind of wonder why Darcy's not with her.
Yeah.
Because she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, and he gets along really well with the brother. I mean, you can't really ask for much, especially when marriage back then was so contractual and it was a business. But in the 1995 version, the chick's like kind of homely, and but she plays society so much better.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
so much better at being that fake like green.
She's
tea
a hustler.
bitch, you know? Yeah.
Like, and she totally, you could see her spreading rumors. Like, she manipulates situations so often. I mean, the miniseries has so much more time and energy to devote to that shit.
It does.
But honestly, that's my least favorite part. Like, that's the part of Game of Thrones I don't really like. You know,
you don't like the intrigue.
No.
and the politics.
I wanted to see more dragons.
Yeah, most people were there for the dragons in the ass.
Well, not for that. I didn't really care.
The
care for
TNA.
ass. I just wanted. Honestly, I just wanted more sun and stars.
Oh, my son, oh, yeah. Khaleesi. Please don't remind me of Game of Thrones. It hurts.
It does hurt. It still hurts.
It hurts. Because even now when I'm thinking about maybe I should watch Game of Thrones,
Don't
then
do
all
it.
of a sudden my head just goes that last season.
Yeah, it's like just don't
I just can't.
do it. Like, I know that the internet pressured you. There's probably no pressure now, and you're thinking that you might do it, that you might get in on Game of Thrones. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. Don't do it.
Because I've been seeing a lot of posts like that on Reddit where they're like, "Hey, so my friend's about to start watching Game of Thrones.
Like, should I stop them? Should I save them?
Should I tell them what's gonna happen? Should I warn them? Because you can get really into it. Because those early seasons are great.
Oh, especially like the two right before the last season. Those seasons, amazing. When all the women start to rise.
Oh my gosh.
Like, fuck a duck. Fuck a duck. Anyways.
Well, they subverted our expectations.
fuck them.
That's what they did. We thought we were going to get a great ending, and we didn't. Expectations subverted. There you go.
Thanks.
Thanks for that.
Really glad I wasted my time.
Oh, but that's okay. So I know you don't like political shit like that, but I mean, I appreciated that from the original Bingley chick because it made her a little bit more well-rounded and more fleshed out.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas the one in here is basically just a foil.
Yeah. I mean, they don't really use her too much, and they just use her for like the snappy insult.
Yeah, the snappy insult and the comparison of what high society is compared to Lizzie. Like, that's all she is. Although I do love that scene when they're in the drawing room and they're talking about
Let's take a turn about the room.
Yeah, where they're talking about what makes a good woman. She must have a thorough knowledge of singing, drawing, dancing to deserve the word.
No, all the languages that deserve the word. Like, oh, so what does that mean? White privilege?
Right, I've never met such a woman.
But then again,
she would certainly be a fearsome thing to behold.
But then again, because Darcy's like, yeah, people don't like women aren't going to match all that, and then I'm like, fucking misogyny.
She must improve her mind with extensive reading.
Close that book. Being stubborn.
Are you so severe on your own sex? So good.
And in the drawing room, you see the picture of Jane Austen, like the painting.
Oh,
it's nice in the background. It's
little
like,
Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, hey. You see that on all the book covers.
No, I do like her quips though. Like, especially when she gets into Darcy and she knows just how to shut down that conversation. Where because Darcy makes fun of him, like saying that the only reason why they're walking around the room
is to show off your figures.
Yeah, because you're conscious of your figures. It's like, oh, how should we punish him? Well, we could always laugh at him.
It's like, oh no, Darcy's not to be teased.
Why is that? Too prideful. Would you find pride a fault or a virtue? And they're doing their bullshit, and she's like, oh dear, I cannot tease you about that, for I dearly love to laugh. And then the girl goes, a family trait.
Yeah, I know. It's like
such a good bird. Such a good bird. I'm like, oh damn, she just hit your whole family.
Like, are we to receive every Bennett in the country?
So, did you see her hem?
Like, she's great.
Yeah, that line delivery is perfect.
Yeah, she's great. Like, because you know what? When you think about it, she's not in the movie very long.
No, but she's memorable.
She's memorable.
Oh,
she's gorgeous.
Like, at any point, someone's going to produce a piglet and make us chase it.
Apparently,
at her own party,
yeah.
the party she's hosting. Like, she's hosting this party, and she's ragging on the people who attended
because only a certain amount of people could attend. People within distance.
Yeah, within the countryside.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Woman can slay.
She's great.
Yeah.
So, Squid, what do you like?
I thought we were okay. Yeah, I guess that can transition, right? That can transition. So, Jack. Wait, I went first last time. So, Jack, what do you like? That's right. That's right.
You're mean.
I'm the mean.
You're mean.
I went first last time.
So I go first all the time.
Oh, I didn't get to talk about the microphones last time. I was going to use the microphone as my Me Likey because Jack's got her.
But instead, you talked about the car.
Yeah, instead I talked about the car. So I'm talking about the microphone. Yeah, I mean, it took a little bit, but yeah. I mean, I didn't talk about it yet, did I? During Forrest Gump?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. So I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't have a really good memory. So yeah, Jaxxon's got a mic. Look at the mic. See? It's like mine, but hers is the RGB thing.
Mine's a unicorn.
Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to be able to like download an app and be able to like choose the colors and shit.
I like these colors.
Right? I like it when it rainbows though, so I might just leave it on default.
See, rainbow.
It's nice. But yeah, so we've been using these for a while. What do you think of them?
Oh, I love it. The sound quality is so much better.
Yeah, but you know what? I think your gain was too high last time because it was like blowing it out when we would like yell and laugh and stuff. But yeah, I told you it sounds a lot better for podcasts when you can get right in here and get nice and juicy with it.
I don't want to get juicy with it. It makes me itchy when you get juicy.
Compared to the one that was like in the middle where it was a lot more atmospheric. It's like, I think with podcasts, it's better that I'm like right in your ear. Hi. Thank you for watching. You know? So yeah, that's my Me Likey.
Just made me itchy. So all that noise.
You don't like the ASMR stuff?
Mm-mm.
Not even a little bit?
No. Ugh, no. I do not like it, and I know a lot of other podcasts where they are like they randomly eat sometimes on the show, and then they talk about later like how they hear like they get so much shit for it, like from their fans, like stop eating on the podcast, it's freaking me out. And I'm like, yes, stop eating, it's freaking me out.
We're drinking like coffee and water.
Yeah, coffee's fine, water's fine, but when you're like crunching on chips and shit, no, don't do that.
You didn't like it?
No.
You sure?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
It's just water.
No, thank you.
Water sloshing.
You know, water mustache.
I know. Sorry, I'm messy, you guys. Some of us aren't good eaters. Some of us are that much people. Gross. Excuse me. So, Jaxxon, what do you like? If you're like, yeah, I even went again for you. So I don't want to hear anything about me not doing things for you.
Well, my Me Likey is actually this green that John just got, and it's called Tres Leches.
Oh.
And I had some last night, and then I was asleep.
Sounds good.
Although it wasn't like immediately asleep. It was more like crossfaded and then asleep.
Oh.
So I had a fun time, and then it was night time.
And then it was sleepies. And then I fell asleep.
See.
Yeah.
It was really nice. It's a sativa.
Ah.
Really nice, like up high, and then I was down.
You were up, but you were down. Sounds nice. Yeah. I see that.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't too strong, but strong enough to where I didn't want to work the blender.
I hate it when you can't do things. Because I gotta do things, you know?
Yeah. I remember that one time you're trying to pour milk.
I couldn't pour milk for my cereal.
You're like,
Like, I like this, but I got shit to do, man. At least let me have my motor functions.
Like, remember way back when I couldn't get up off the couch?
Your remote was too heavy.
That was too heavy.
You couldn't get up off the couch.
Could not get off the couch.
You're like, guys, I can't get up. My butt.
I couldn't get. I ended up rolling off the couch.
Yeah, you did.
Because goddamn.
I remember that because I was in the kitchen trying to pour milk in my cereal. And I couldn't because I would laugh and it would slosh.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
So dangerous.
Okay, when you can't
You should
pour.
operate a motor vehicle. Do not do that.
No, do not do that.
I can't pour cereal. I'm not going anywhere.
For real.
Yeah.
If I cannot get up.
My butt's too heavy to move.
To be fair, my butt was too heavy.
Yeah, to be fair though.
It was too heavy. You know, sometimes it's just too heavy.
Oh man. Put that on a bumper sticker. Sometimes it's just too heavy.
And that's okay.
It's okay.
You can get up later.
Okay. You can roll to the floor.
True. Roll, slide, whatever you gotta do.
We believe in you.
Shucks.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for listening to another You Don't Make Friends with Giant Squids podcast. I'm Squid.
And I'm Jaxxon.
And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Later. Ooh. Yay.
Hey everyone, it's Squid! Congratulations on reaching the end of the video. I just wanted to thank our patrons for supporting us this month. If you want to become a patron, or if you want to find out more information about future updates or past projects, please follow the links below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later!